Well, hello there YouTubers, and it's finally available in the UK without having to import it, and this is the Doctor Who 13 Doctor set. Now I can't use the tripod for going through the box because unfortunately I don't have enough room to get this entirely in shot, because this box is absolutely massive. In terms of how big it is, it's about the same size as the 11 Doctors box set, maybe slightly taller. However, the cardboard this is made from isn't as sturdy or as strong, and also this one seems to have a matte finish. However, I do prefer the look of it, because if you remember on the 11 Doctors box set released back in 2010, it had a massive thing saying includes all 11 Doctors. This one says includes the 12th Doctor and War Doctor, and if we take a look at the side, we've got the Doctor Who logo, the scars and everything. And if we take a look at the back, we can see all of the figures are included in this set. And if we flip it back to the front, this is actually fairly heavy actually. We've got the doors which can open up, and you can pause to have a look at the bio. So, first Doctor, second Doctor, the third Doctor, the fourth, fifth, sixth. I don't know why I keep saying this, I'm going to stop now. So again, just sorry about this. When I review the figures, I will put this camera back onto the tripod. And if we take a look, a nice lovely little window here. So yeah, I really like this window box kind of style. For some reason it is completely black around the brim on the inside. Not quite sure why. And also this is a limited edition. So there is my number. So yay. So anyway, let's go on. Just on a note, this is the easiest way to get these figures out. Just use a little knife here and cut these little elastic band things just gently, and there you go, and then the figures will come out a lot easier. So let's go do that. Okay, so let's start off this review with looking at the first Doctor from the web planet. Now obviously a story that a lot of people aren't a big fan of, including myself. It's alright, but yeah, it's one of those fluff stories where yeah, it has problems, but it does have a certain charm to it. But anyway, let's take a look at the figure. I really do like this figure, that we finally got a proper new variant. Well, this is the second proper new variant of the first Doctor. We did have the cloaked version, and obviously the Young Doctor's box set version, but that was a slight repaint. This one, completely new repaint. So let's take a look at the waistcoat, and you can see the waistcoat now is a sort of orangey brown colour, and you can see little struts going down here, and the monocle now is painted black around here and with a silver parked around the side. We can also see the lapel is now white with black stripes going down, and you can actually see it going around the side here, and the collar is tucked out as it usually is. In terms of the trousers, well, they've got the same sort of pattern as before, but now obviously they're more of the orangey tan colour, as they were. And we've got the specs as well, with the white and the black at the bottom. But essentially this is the same sculpt, and you can see the hair is now back to the grey colour that it was before. Not quite as white as, say, the Dr. Garlic 2-packs, which I think was the last time a first Doctor figure was released. And yeah, it's pretty sharp paint. My one has a slightly dodgy eye. If we just take a look here on the eyes, one of them is slightly off the pupil. Not by much. I'm not overly too fussed about it. I mean, all the other paint apps are intact, and you can only really tell when you get dead up close to it. In terms of articulation, it's exactly the same as every other First Doctor figure release, so I won't bother going through that, but it's a really nice figure. And again, the coat is all nice and well done. The coat is exactly the same, no repaints or anything. So yeah, it's a nice colour. It's still made of a fairly tough PVC plastic, so yeah, let's put the First Doctor there and go on to the Second Doctor from the Two Doctors. So here we are, the Second Doctor from the Two Doctors. So essentially what this is just a repaint of the previous Second Doctor figures. So we've pretty much got all the major versions of the Second Doctor that we're seeing. Obviously there's the one with the Yeti coat and the one with his hacks from Power of the Daleks. Anyway, this one here. So what they've done essentially is to make him look older is, I keep knocking this light over, they've painted the hair a white and grey, and also it almost looks like there's bits of blonde in there. So yeah, it's basically just a repaint of the hair, but also his head seems to keep wanting to go alongside. The head will not turn at all on this one. The shirt is slightly lighter. It's not quite white, it's a very pale blue. It looks bluer on camera than it is actually in real life. And we've got the bow tie, the spotted bow tie. Basically like the 50th anniversary bow tie that Matt Smith wore. And here we've got his handkerchief with loads of different patterns on this time, because it's from the Two Doctors, and you know, 80s. Will this focus? I'm not quite sure, but you can see all the patterns there. And the trousers have had a slight repaint, not dramatically different. They're basically just a bit more darker, sort of like a brown creamish colour. It's hard to really describe the colour of these trousers. They're quite an amazing colour actually. But again, no accessories again this time, neither with the First Doctor. The First Doctor did not come with a walking suit with this. This does not come with a recorder either. I don't believe we had a recorder in the Two Doctors. Oh, and the shoes are very dark brown colour as well. But again, I really like these. Pretty much the first three Doctors of this set are the best. Some of the best figures of the set in the main highlights, including Tana, the Third Doctor, another new variant. None of these figures want to stand up very well, do they? Let's put his legs like that. There we go. Right, so we'll have to zoom out because he's a bit taller. So this is the one I've wanted for quite a while. He's in his orange smoking jacket, seen in few stories, but the one it says on the box is from Time Monster. Again, not a story that everyone's big fan of, but this figure is really nice. It's basically just a repaint of the standard John Pertwee figure body. So yeah, the cut of the jacket isn't correct because this should be popping up at the back. But we're this late into the game, it's just thankful that we have got a new variant in a 5-inch scale. And also the cuffs around here have just been painted on rather than actually sculpted, which it should be. We've got pockets around the side and the quills and that, and the bow tie is an incredibly dark brown colour. It's pretty hard to see, but trust me when I say it is a brown, not black. It is an extremely dark brown colour, and yeah, like I said, the face looks slightly different to me. It may just be the paint apps on this one. The paint apps do seem a lot lighter than previous releases, and also the hair does seem incredibly white on this figure, whereas on others it's been a bit more grey, but this one it's a very bright white colour, but there does seem to be one or two shades of blonde shoved in there. But again, the shirt is a plain white, and the legs are exactly the same as previous releases. It's the shoed legs, so the ones with the black shoes at the bottom. Again, it's the exact same sculpt, it's just repainted the jacket and repainted the shirt and that. And again, this light does not want to escape. I'm going to have to get some glue or something. But yeah, that's the Third Doctor. The Third Doctor does come with the Third Doctor sonic screwdriver. I'll show you all the accessories at the end of the video. But anyway, let's keep going. So here we have the Fourth Doctor, and this is how he appeared during his final year as the Doctor. Now, I have previously reviewed this figure, however, this one has been slightly revised from the previous release, so this time the pattern on the scarf is much more accurate and much closer to what the actual one is, whereas the previous release had massive chunks, whereas this one has loads of different patterns, loads of different lines and variation. The hair also, before the hair had a bit of grey on here, this one seems to have a bit of grey, almost, again, blonde-ish wash over the top of it, for some reason. But it does look a lot better than the previous release. Again, you can see at the top here some of the curls of Scarf to go in it, so, yes. Will you focus? No, you won't. And again, the shirt is exactly the same. And have they painted the question marks? I assume not. This time the coat is actually properly glued down, so there's no way on earth I'm seeing if they've actually painted the question marks. They probably haven't. He's also wearing the boots down here. This seems like a harder PVC. For some reason, they've painted them in almost the same colour as the trousers, where they should be a lot darker brown, but they look almost exactly the same for some weird reason. I'm not quite sure why they look this colour, but they do. Again, the scarf is removable. You can just lift it over his head. So anyway, let's get to a slight revised version. So here we have the Fifth Doctor. Now the Fifth Doctor is basically, again, during his final year. This was previously released in the Resurrection of the Dalek set, which I have. However, the trousers have again been repainted. They've been repainted to again closer match the trousers that we're actually seeing. So this is probably the most accurate Fifth Doctor we have ever had. And again, he has got his celery and even the green bits on the shirt and the red underneath. And his hair seems to be a lighter blonde for some reason. And the buttons on this one have actually been painted black this time round. Now, I don't know if the previous version of this figure did have it. I know that all the versions that I've had, they've always had red buttons, but this one they've actually painted the buttons black. So if that is a first, then well done, character. You are learning. So let's put the Fifth Doctor here. And this one, along with the Third Doctor, were probably the two figures that I wanted the most, and probably most people wanted the most. The Sixth Doctor from Real Time, which is a re-release, yes, but it's a San Diego Comic-Con exclusive re-release, because this was originally released on its own back in 2009 as a San Diego Comic-Con, and it's probably one of the rarest Sixth Doctor, but anymore it's being released. It's basically your bog standard Sixth Doctor figure, except all of the colours have been of his coat are being swapped for different shades of blue. So we've got light blue, dark blue, sort of baby blue, extremely dark blues, but yes, even on the trousers they are blue as well. So you see, yes, those lines are also blue. They're very, very dark blue, but they are blue. Those lines could possibly be black. Yes, that line going across the coat is black, but the lines on here are very dark blue, and the shoes are blue. The soles are black though, but I love the detail here where you can actually see the strap on the spats. They've actually painted the bottom of it blue here and on the top, which is, correct. We've even got the little cat badge just on here, and again the cravat is blue with the polka dots. And unfortunately, what the original one had and this one has, unfortunately they've painted part of the shirt blue as if it was the waistcoat, but it isn't. I can confirm that is not the waistcoat. They've made a mistake there. That should not be blue. That should be white. But the question mark's also blue, and the head is exactly the same. But I do love the one thing that kind of sets it off quite nicely, which is the gold fob chain across the waistcoat. And we'll just put him there. He comes with his sonic lance. Again, not seen since this was actually released. But that was released with the first release of the 6th Doctor and this release, and it was never released again until now. So yay. Another revised version, so here we have the 7th Doctor seen in Ghostlight, and yes, this was released in the first version of this set, the 11 Doctors box set. However, the trousers are now in the more correct green colour, as we see through the episodes, and that's instead of more of the grey colour that they have been given in the past. How many rows do we have? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So yeah, unfortunately, still 7 rows on the jumper. We can't actually see the pockets anymore, because again, this thing has been very well glued down, so you can't actually peel it back at all. And for some reason on the side here, the handkerchief hasn't been too well painted. It's basically just being left brown with pattern printed not too well on the side. We'll take a look at the head, it's exactly the same. The paint apps are pretty good. I don't think this head is no longer removable, actually. No, it seems, because on previous 7th Doctor figures, the head was actually removable. But on this one, no, you can't remove the head on this one. Could just be my own, but anyway, even on the specs here, the specs are slightly lighter. But overall, it is a nice figure, and we've actually got a silver fob chain this time around, which is nice, because I remember on the first release of this figure, they incorrectly painted it gold. But he comes with the sonic screwdriver from the TV movie, which he never used with that costume, because that was when there was no sonic screwdriver, because John Nathan Turner got rid of it back in 84, 85 in the Visitation. But anyway, that's it's nice to see that figure have a second run at it, you know. Correct, I'm always, and he comes with his umbrella, thankfully. But I'm always for having it done correctly. Interestingly, the 5th Doctor does come with a sonic screwdriver, even though he didn't actually have a sonic screwdriver by this point in his run. But anyway, so here we have the 8th Doctor. Now, this is again a slightly different variant from the other one. I do have the original release of the Night of the Doctor, 8th Doctor, but basically I never did review that one, unfortunately, since I knew it was going to be released in this box set. But anyway, if we take a look at the head, you can see this really does look like Paul McGann an awful lot. So you can see here, obviously he looks a bit older than he did before. We got years older. The hair is shorter, but the hair is a really nice sculpt. It's nice and frizzy, like his actual hair, and we can see now he has blood on his face. So this is obviously when he is crashed on Khan, and he comes out and is dead and begins to regenerate. So anyway, let's take a look at the figure. So we can see here we've got his necktie, which is a blue colour. It's actually pretty bright blue colour, and we've got his shirt, which actually looks cleaner than the original release. And I will point out here, this figure does not have the bandana. Yeah, this figure does not have the bandana. And it's not just my one, the other one that they underscore didn't have it either. But yet the original release does have the little bandana that he puts across, which is weird. That should really be the other way around. We've got the trousers, which are a dirty brown colour. There, so there's a brown with a lighter brown wash over the top, and then we've got the boots, the lace-up boots, which again are brown with a brown and black wash over the top to give them a dirty look on them. And the coat is green, again, with this one has a dirty wash over the top, so compared to the original, which didn't, so it just looked like it's been in a crash, which it has. And the waistcoat is kind of a gold copper bronze colour with a bit of silver thrown in there, and you can see just here his little fob chain, which just leads into the figure quite nicely. The figure does have ball joints and that and he has a little buckle on his belt, which is also very nice. Oh, I am sick to death of this light, so I'm sorry for that. The head on this one again is not removable. Overall, a nice figure. He does come with his sonic screwdriver, this figure, which is something that previous releases have not done. So yeah, I now have all the variants of the 8th Doctor figures, so isn't that nice? And now, again, here's a figure that I do already have, but I've never reviewed it, is the Wall Doctor figure. And again, this one has been slightly revised. Pretty much nearly all these figures have had some alteration done to them. So basically, the coat is a lot darker than the original release. So it is a lot darker, and it has less of the dirty wash on it. There is still some of it on there, as you can see, bits and pieces, but it is a lot darker, and there's less of that dirty wash on it that there was before. And again, the waistcoat, whereas before was a pretty bright, clean green colour, here it's much more of a muddy brown colour. You can see still some of the green and that's in there, and actually you can still see the bandana and his little neckerchief scarf has all been carrying, and my god, just look at that. That is John Hurt in a nutshell, and you've got bits of grey, bits of sort of blondish colours through there, all through the hair to make him look older, and you've got the beard and that. It just looks dead on. That is John Hurt, alright. If we take a look at the boots here, we can see that, yeah, they are the kind of brownish colour that's the original release. It's basically just a darker painted version of the original release. And we've got, even on the shoes here, we've got that some of the buttons are actually missing on here. They haven't been buttoned up in some places. His hands are clenched. Now, is the head removable on this one? No, it is not, so none of these heads are actually removable, so you can't swap them with any others. So that means on this figure you can't remove the little neckerchief scarf here. That is non-removable on this figure, unfortunately, compared to the original release where you can swap it for an 8th Doctor figure. That is no longer the feature here. He does come with his sonic screwdriver as well, which I will again show later, but we'll put him just over here. And we'll move on. Oh, this is a long video, isn't it, kiddies? To the 9th Doctor. So here we are, here we have the Northerner. My Doctor, hooray, hooray, hooray. Oh, I was worried about his arm for a second. His arm is fairly loose. Push it in a bit. But yeah, the thing with this one is the eyebrows. Now, when I first saw this, I thought, my god, what have they done to his eyebrows? They are pretty thick, actually, compared to other releases. They are pretty damn thick. Come on, focus. There we go, so the eyebrows are a lot darker and a lot thicker than the previous release. But the jacket, my god, this jacket just makes it all up, doesn't it? If we take a look at the actual jackets here, you can see it's got a muddy wash over the top of it. So it looks a lot darker and a lot more brown like the actual jacket did. And we also have now a purple t-shirt here. So yes, this t-shirt is a purple colour this time around, compared to the previous where was a sort of maroon colour is the most common one, and there's also a black version and a green version. But finally we've got a new jumper. The legs are slightly lighter. Yeah, for some reason the legs are a slightly lighter colour than the previous releases. For some reason, I don't know why, they just are slightly lighter. If you couldn't tell already, my lights are dying with all this. So yes, unfortunately the lights are dying. Let's see, is that any better? Ooh, he looks like he's going to regenerate now. And yeah, he does come with this Sonic shirt. Oh, and the boots are nice as well. So yeah. Let's get on with the 10th Doctor. Oh my god, we have had probably more 10th Doctor figures than any other. Probably. Yeah, let's just oversaturating light. There we go. So we've probably had the most 10th Doctor figures out of all of them. This is again supposed to be the brown suited version. But why have we still, to this day, not got a 10th Doctor with the end of time head clean but without glasses? For God's sake, come on, character. It's taking you so long to do this. Actually, it looks better without the light, doesn't it? I mean, I don't understand what's going through their heads. Just release 6. I mean, again, the rubber on this one is actually a lot stiffer than previous ones. But this one, they haven't done any improvements to this. It is a direct re-release from 2006. Anyway, let's take a look at the Max Smith figure. This one has again been slightly revised for this release. So, not a lot has changed. The sculpt is exactly the same as all of the other tweed jacketed versions of this 11th Doctor with the brown jacket. However, the brown jacket has been improved. It's been given a new lighter wash with a bit of dirt on top to make it look more like it did in the show. Also, the shirt is the Series 5 shirt. However, the lines going up it are much more vibrant than they were before. All the colours are a lot more vibrant on the shirts and the bow tie. And the legs kind of have a slight bluish tint to them, and the boots at the bottom here have a slight brownish wash on them to make them look a bit more dirty. Again, it's very hard to tell on camera. He comes with his sonic screwdriver as always. I have given up with this light. I'm sorry about this review, but seriously, everything that could possibly go wrong in this review is going wrong. The hair is had a slight repaint as well. It's a lot lighter brown this time around. The hair is a lot of a lighter brown colour compared to the original release. It's sort of got bits of lighter brown, bits of darker brown in it. But the paint apps are pretty sharp on this figure as well. Oh god. And finally, the final figure in this set, the 12th Doctor, who absolutely 100% refuses to stand up. And actually, this is probably the weakest figure in the set, actually. Yeah, the 12th Doctor being the most recent. Now, if you didn't know already, there are prototypes out there for a Series 9 12th Doctor figure with a new head sculpt. So this annoys me even more. So basically, this is an almost complete re-release of the 12th Doctor figure that we saw in the exclusive to Toys R Us sets, where it was a single figure. And this one has the black shirt. Look, she never wore a plain black shirt like that. I'm assuming that it's meant to be the jumper that he has, that he wears a white t-shirt underneath to show little white dots. But if we take a look at the coat is a purple colour. Yeah, this coat is a blue purple colour rather than the dark navy blue, almost black of the previous releases. It's a lot lighter, but it is a kind of purple colour for some weird reason. And if we take a look underneath the flaps this time. He's got a pinky peach colour rather than the more vibrant red under there for some reason. Again, I have no idea why. I mean, we've got nice detail of the buckle, and the legs are fine with articulation. The feet. But my god, is that head sculpt absolutely terrible. And by the way, I did do a 12th Doctor video. Unfortunately, the video corrupted, and it was never able to really... Oh, it looks pretty cool actually, like he's regenerating into that new head, hopefully, because I'm sick to death of this head. But yeah, he looks nothing like the Doctor. He looks more like the Robo-Man that was released in the Enemies of the first Doctor box set. So yeah, that's what he looks like, and he can go right over there at the side. You just go over there. Oh god, but it's been a long review, people. But finally, it's nearly over. Load of elastic bands fell. So anyway, let's take a quick look at some of the accessories. So here we have the 7th Doctor's umbrella. It's exactly the same as the previous releases. Nothing at all different about this one. Here we have the 3rd Doctor's sonic screwdriver. Again, nothing different. Mine only has 2 lines on it for some reason. Here's the 4th Doctor sonic screwdriver in open mode, because they've painted a bit more of it black. We've got an 8th Doctor sonic screwdriver here, which is masquerading as the 7th one there, and the exact same there for the 8th Doctor. And here we have the War Doctor one, which is actually upside down in the box. There's the little red tip at the end, and the top end is actually down here, but is actually left silver for some reason. If you go over here, there is the 7th Doctor, the 6th Doctor's, 6th Doctor's Sonic Lance. It's basically just black with a red tip at the end, but basically that's what the prop was in the episode. The 5th Doctor Sonic, it's got a bit of gold there. Yeah, like something different between it and the 4th. For some reason the 5-inch, the roleplay version of this Sonic Screwdriver toy doesn't have the gold, it's black. Don't know why that difference is. And here we have the 9th Doctor Sonic, again exactly the same, and the 10th Doctor Sonic, again in open mode. They're exactly the same. Here we have the 11th Doctor Sonic Screwdriver in open mode. And here we have the 12th Doctor Sonic Screwdriver in closed mode. Now, these Sonic Screwdrivers are exactly the same, so you could use them with either Doctor again. But for some reason they are the same size. I have no idea why, because they're the same Sonic Screwdriver. So if the 11th Doctor Sonic Screwdriver or the 12th Doctor Sonic Screwdriver is closed, then it should be smaller. But what they've done is they've elongated the sections. Now they do look more detailed because of it, but still, that is inaccurate. And I hate inaccuracies, if you couldn't tell already. But anyway, my god, I'm going to put him at the middle and get him hopefully to do pose where he turns his hand like this. Okay, so you can sort of get him to go into that sort of pose, what Peter Capaldi does in a lot of the promos, but he won't stand up for some reason. Yeah, this figure is having extreme difficulty standing up. I don't know if it's just because of the way he's being packaged or what, but anyway, that does it for this set. It's a really nice set, I really do like it. Sure, yeah, is it perfect? Not quite, no. The box on my one is actually a slightly bit bashed in. Actually, all of them that they had in my local Toys R Us, all the boxes were actually bashed in a bit. So, unfortunately, it's just the look of the drawer. But the figures were okay. Make sure you take a look at the figures though, because I noticed in some of the... For God's sake, Peter Capaldi, stand up! You lazy bastard! Yeah, anyway, what was I saying? Oh yeah, one of the other figures, the War Doctor figure, had 2 left hands, for some reason on one of them, and another one, for some reason, the accessories were missing. So yeah, just have a look, make sure that all the figures and that are correct, and yeah, just make sure. Anyway, I'll see you next time. Bye bye.